and welcome back to the Island of Sodor. Today we are continuing stories, main stories, which start with Thomas and Bertie, and we'll do one of the others. There are 8 main stories on this game, and a few others. We're doing stories and then a bit of exploring. 2 stories, bit of exploring. So I'm going to do each video until I've done all the stories. As I said in the first Wonders of Sodor video, I have got the James DLC, so we get James as well. And we'll do Let the Narrator Talk.
Thomas and Bertie. One morning, Thomas was waiting at a junction when a red bus arrived. "Hello," said Thomas. "Who are you?" "I'm Bertie. Who are you?" "I'm Thomas. I run the branch line." "So you're Thomas, eh? I remember now. You got stuck in the snow. I took your passengers and Terence the tractor pulled you out. I've come to help you with your passengers today." "Help me?" said Thomas. "I can go faster than you." "You can't," said Bertie. "I can," huffed Thomas. "I'll race you," said Bertie. Their drivers agreed to the race going ahead.
Okay.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Come along, come along. We're coming along, we're coming along.
Bertie's already gone, look. Okay, so it's weird having someone else, there's Bertie, someone else do Thomas's voice for this story, because originally it was Ringo Starr doing it. For this one, the first 2, I'm not sure about the next story. It should be Percy's Busy Day. This is getting up to speed quite quickly. It's whether I'm going to be able to stop in time. Just get to the correct stopping point. Doors are open. This is Dryor, or Dryor Junction as it said on the thing. Off we go again. Okay. So we've still got to stop. And we've got to try and do it as quickly as we can to beat Bertie. In both the book and the TV episode, Thomas wins. Green signal. Signal box. Half of it buried under the ground, because normally it would look like that one there. Here's the junction. Still got a mile to go. Oops. I wanted that here and hit the wrong button. I need to do this one. Next is Elsbridge, where Thomas had his water issue. Whoa, we came up there a bit quick. There's Elsbridge itself. So we're heading south towards Matford and Tidmouth. Okay, this isn't Elsbridge. Of course it was. Where are we? There we are. Start bringing the speed down. As we go under the road bridge. That bridge we just went over is the one which has the mill next to it. Into a stop. Through the doors. Go into photo mode because I want a photo of Thomas for the thumbnail image. How close can I get? I can't get to them. The fishermen should still be there. Let's bring that up and zoom in. Oh, too much. Zoom out a little bit. The fisher people aren't there, look. They must be story specific. Okay. Nice to know. Okay. Why does it automatically go back to that place? Make sure there's no one getting on and off. What's the point in stopping when there's no one there?
Please, hurry. We need to get back up to speed if we are going to beat Bertie.
There's Bertie, look. Bye-bye, Bertie. Over the bridge, where we took water in the last story. Water that had fish in it. Better be on this side because this is where the whistleboard is. Next stop, Maithwaite. So we're going all the way to Farquhar. Rather than Matford. Signal box again for a level crossing. Thomas does a nice 40 miles an hour. Doesn't go much faster. 44 miles an hour. 45. Okay, he is speeding up slowly. And slowing down. Coast a little bit because I slowed down too much. Over canal. And this is Maithwaite. Everyone to get ready because Thomas is going to be go quickly. Brakes. Doors. Wait for everyone to get on. There's the station name board. Perfect place to stop. And close the doors. And off we go. Next is Hackenbeck, or Hackenbeck. Where's Bertie? There's Bertie, look. We've beaten Bertie slightly, because he's not got to the crossing yet. Back in that view. I can see the whistle board. Bertie should be driving at one of the level crossings just before us, but has to wait because the crossing gate's closed. I don't know where that... Gotta be on this... I can go this side ready. Quite a long tunnel this, and I've got no light inside, so apologies for the black. I don't know how to turn that. Where is it? Tab door. I forgot there was a tunnel on this section of line. Oh! Keyboard works. Okay. Got power. High brakes. Back and back. Over the rusty old viaduct. We should have beaten Bertie again. Stop. Through the doors. Hurry, hurry, as Thomas says. What's the betting? Bertie turns up just as we're about to leave. Oh, you're getting on, are you? Oh, look, there's a painting there. I'll have to collect that at some point. Too late. We're on our way, and no sign of Bertie. Is he on the road? No. We're ahead of Bertie. At least I think we are. Next is Farquhar. The end of Thomas's branch. As we have explored the quarry bit with Percy, we're going to do... Come on, Thomas, slow down. We're going to do the... other end of the branch for the exploration this time, but only...
We've done it! We beat Bertie!
That was a quick one.
Well done, Thomas, said Bertie. That was fun, but I think we should have another race to see if I can beat you next time.
Yeah, that was a lot quicker than normal. 4.8 miles. Okay. Now it's Percy's Troublesome Day, Part 1. That was definitely not 25 minutes. Might end up doing 3 stories. Mick Morahan. Okay, I would have preferred having Ringo Starr's narration, because that's who I grew up with. And he did original classic series 1 and 2. Then it was Michelangelis for some time. Mike Morahan is the more up-to-date narrator. Here's Percy, he's got
Percy's Troublesome Day.
off goes.
Percy had a busy day ahead and was trying his best not to be late. Mustn't be late today, he said to himself. Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me. Come on, Percy, said his fireman. Off we go.
Okay. We go up Thomas's branch. Oh, I've got to put it in forward, haven't I? Go up Thomas's branch line. Have to do fireman's view. Leaving Knapford. So we are going along bits of the line that I haven't explored up to yet. So we might do the main line as an exploration. There's Emily with 4 bogey coaches. Want to be on this side. I don't know why it does that when I press left. I'm supposed to do that from right. Okay, cut the power a little bit because we're speeding. Miles an hour speed limit now. As we go over the road. I will try and get a picture of Percy with the famous mill that's from the opening of the show. That's if we go far as that. There's the dock branch, both sides. Must be going downhill because Percy's speeding up. We go up to 50. So I can regulate it more. 0.6 miles to dry up. It's not a very long branch, but it's still quite interesting. The main line is, I think, 17 miles. So you get a decent length of run. There's the windmill that Thomas goes past in the opening. Can actually get a scale model of that thanks to someone called Buggles Kelly Station. He does a model in multiple scales, 3D printed, and it is pretty good. I've seen it in person. It does happen that I'm friends with the person who created it. Right, brakes. as we pull into Dryor, which is where Harold's airport is, or airfield. Harold the helicopter. Just need to try and stop as close to the marker as possible. Like so. Do passengers. Get a screenshot of Percy in. He doesn't look very happy, does he? Cheer up, Percy. What are the coaches like? You got 1, 2. He's got a guards van, but there's passengers in the guards van, look. Hello. What are you doing in the guards van? As with Annie and Clarabelle, it's got 3 link couplings rather than screw coupling. Percy himself has got a screw coupling. That's a good shot. Get a bit further away so I get all of Percy in. And then we'll... Oh, there's a bridge there. There's the airfield. Somewhere there's a helipad. Because that's where Harold comes from. And there's a train coming down by the look of it. Looks like James. Because it's red. So we get to see James. Passengers are just taking their time. But here comes James. Or is it Thomas? It's Thomas. Locking doors. I'm going to have to get a screenshot of Thomas and Percy passing. Because that's pretty cool. Probably have to have the lamp on inside Percy's cab. Which is, if I go in, just there. Because we'll probably go through that tunnel again. That's a good shot. As always with my train sim videos, the screenshots will be at the end to give. Hello, Drive. Just leaning out of Thomas's cab to get a view of Percy on his 3-coach. Percy's a smaller engine than Thomas, and he gets a heavier train. That's weird. I'll turn that lamp on now. I can turn it on by keyboards. I didn't know that before. Do now, so when we go into the tunnel, we'll be able to see in the cab rather than it being total black. That's the start of Thomas's journey through the tunnel. I was trying to think what I was trying to say then. Struggled. Right. Percy's getting up a reasonable amount of speed, considering he's got quite a heavy train. How far have we got? 0.9 miles. To get to Elsbridge. So, I am going to get a picture of Percy on that viaduct, which is after this little station. And before Ellsbridge itself. There it is. It's where the famous mill with the viaduct in the background that Thomas goes over is. So what I'm going to do, get Percy's power, and there. There's the mill. There's the classic shop, but with Percy instead of Thomas. That looks quite cool. Let's just advance Percy slightly. Like that. And I can make it an evening shot. That looks even better. What about late evening? Okay, we'll carry on. We'll get into Ellsbridge. Which is just round this bend. Start applying the brake. There's the road bridge. Speeding over the points. And now we're in Ellsbridge. Which is a place where I've already got all the collectible items, so not too worried about anything here. Through the doors.
Percy arrived at Ellsbridge station and collected his passengers, but he had to wait for Bertie the bus.
Oh, we get Bertie again.
"Where is Bertie?" said Percy impatiently. "He's going to make me late." Just then, he heard a voice calling out, "Wait! Wait!" At last, Bertie screeched into the station. "Where have you been?" asked Percy. "I've been waiting ages for you. I thought you were supposed to be the fastest bus on Sodor." "Some road repairs were being done and I had to wait for the workmen to let me pass," explained Bertie. "Well, now I'm going to be late," Percy huffed. As soon as the guard blew his whistle, Percy raced away. He knew he had to make up for lost time.
I just want to do something. Something you can do with photo mode. First thing first. Bertie. With his registration number, CRD54. But you can actually go inside and have a look. That's the inside of Bertie's. Not very many passengers. You've got 3 at the back, and then 3 rows of effectively 2. That is somewhat annoying. Just a total of 9 passengers in Bertie. Okay, we'll get on our way. Percy still... Oh no, he's got this unhappy face still, look. go back to that view so I can see whistle signs. At least we haven't actually got a timetable. Next stop, Maithwaite. I like the realistic reflections on Percy's bodywork. The saddle tank, the cabs, the little lockers. It's actually quite good. Makes it a lot more realistic.
But then there was trouble. As Percy rounded the bend, he saw that some cows were blocking the line.
Slamming brakes on. I've seen clips of people doing this bit. You have to actually move the cows as the driver.
Oh no, moaned Percy. Now I'm sure to be late. Please move out of the way, you silly cows.
We're not moving. Sorry, had to do that.
It looks like we'll have to go and move the cows ourselves, said his fireman.
Run and move the cows. Come on. I'm gonna have to do something. We've got 7 cows to move. And Percy's just sitting there looking unhappy. Percy gets stressed very, very easily. What do we have to do? Move! And you, move! Move! Why am I doing it in sheep mode? Move. 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 Run back to Percy.
At last, the cows had been moved.
And Percy's smiling.
And Percy could continue on his way.
He's got a smile.
Hooray, peeped Percy. We can go now.
Yeah, maybe. If I can get there we go. Stand in driver's position. Get a photo of Percy's smiley face. Now that he's happy. Off we go. 0.7 miles to Maithwaite. Past the cattle dock for the farm. There we go. That's how they load cattle. I wonder if there's actually going to be a story about that or not. I don't know. Got another whistle sign coming up. Percy has got a Peckett note to his exhaust. It sounds like a Peckett. Particular exhaust note that Pecketts have. It does sound so much like a Peckett. Yeah, Percy is the engine that you can't identify what class he is. But from this exhaust note, Dovetail decided to peck it. Open doors. Wonder if I can open the windows in it. No. Lock the doors. Go back in that view. Off we go. This is next station, Hackenbeck. As we leave Maithwaite. This one's taking a bit longer than the last story, but I might do the next one before we do the explore of the main line. Start in Vickarstown and make our way towards Knapford and Tidmouth. Here's the tunnel. There's the old lady's cottage. That's a series 3 or 4 TV series. Into the tunnel. The lights on. I like the way that you can control the throttle and the brake using the cab controls. You don't have to use buttons or controllers. Hackenbeck is 650 yards away now. There we go. Got power. Here's the lovely viaduct. Get a screenshot of Percy on the viaduct with his 3 four-wheeled coaches. And start applying the brakes. As we arrive at Hackenbeck. Perfect stop. Doors open. No one's getting on. Are you going to get on? No, you're just going to stand there. Oh, now you are. Thank you. Wait for those to get on. Closing doors. Off we go. Do wish we could do our own whistle thing rather than relying on the 3 versions that are pre-recorded. You've got a single one with 2, and one with 3. That's it. Next stop, Farquhar, which is the end of the line. And that'll be probably the end of part 1. Percy's tiring day. Slowing down for Farquhar. Need to swap sides. Sorry. That is sheep and cows playing football with a goat as the referee? Oh, a donkey as the referee. Not sheep, pigs. Pigs and cows playing football. Can I? If I go down, so I get a pig in shot as well. And the mule, or donkey. That's just... yeah. That's, a bit odd, shall we say. We've arrived at the end of the branch line. Which Thomas and Percy seem to share.
Percy soon arrived at Farquhar Station. He saw that the station master was waiting for him. "I'm sorry we're late," said Percy. "There were cows on the line, and Bertie was late, and—" "It's all right, Percy," smiled the station master. "It looks like you're having one of those days. Anyway, you're only a few minutes late, and the delays weren't your fault, so we'll say no more about it. Now, I've had a phone call from Sir Topham Hatt, and he wants you to collect some trucks from the quarry." "OK," puffed Percy. "We'll go right away. I just need to leave my coaches in the siding first."
Well, that took nearly 40 minutes. And... well, there was no scheduled time for any of the stops, so I did everything right. Total distance, 5.5 miles for the passenger portion of Thomas's branch line. I'll do part 2 on the next video. For now, we're going to explore the main line. We'll start in Vickarstown, but we'll do it in Explore. Can't change the date or time for some reason. Be nice to be able to have it earlier in the day rather than just midday. I don't know if that's actually a bug of the game or there's something up with my install, but I don't know. What I'm going to do is... yeah, I don't know how to spawn a train. You don't have to keep telling me every single time. This is Vickarstown Yard. So, let's have a look around. We've got 2 loco sheds, which are quite nice. Not much on there. We've got the... is that towards the main line? That looks like it might be. No, that's Vickarstown Station, so mainland is off that way. I don't know if we can actually go any further than that. We've got a turntable and a water tower just there. And then there's a turntable. Then we've got a no longer rail served goods shed. Can we look around the back? There's a big lorry with no number plate. Okay. There's a little line-side hut there. What we'll do... Why'd that just do that? We'll go up onto the main line. There's no collectibles down there. That goes to the mainland. And then we've got... There's a branch line off that way. And then the main line. With a little branch. Goes at an angle. Goes down to... This is the fun bit. Craven's Gate. We've got some narrow gauge track. So, what we're going to do... We'll spawn in... Let's do Emily. Five express coaches. This line, please. There's Emily. She's a really nice looking engine. Won't let me go into photo mode. Maybe if I climb up. And stand in driver's position. Yes, I know. Reverser forward. Brake off. Everything off. Can I go into photo mode now? There we go. There's Emily. With some gorgeous looking coaches. Which, once again, despite being express coaches, have 3-link couplings. Well, we've got a brake coach at the back, but I can't get there. Can see the end of the line there now. That's the bit towards the mainland. There's Vickarstown station. Somewhere around here is Vickarstown Diesel Works, which is a... Why am I not able to do any of the... Weird. We'll go into Vickarstown to start with and have a little explore of the station. I can't lean out. For some reason, keyboard's not working. I have to use that method to look out. But we can look at Emily's wheel go as we... Does the headlight come on? No, nothing's coming on. I'll turn that on, at least. I can't do anything. This is annoying. Emily is based on a Sterling single. I don't know why I've lost keyboard control. The coal looks pretty realistic. Random big lumps and the fine grade stuff as well. I've been pressing the brake button accidentally. Keep forgetting when you're driving you can't use the same buttons you can with photo mode. to know why. Got it back. I pressed num lock accidentally, or number lock, which removes keyboard control. Don't know why, but there we go. I've now got that light on, and I can lean out the cab again. That's an impressive station. Emily seems to have just one whistle. We're going to stop in Vickarstown and explore. It's 12:05, that's a nice clock. Emily's come from the Mainline. Mainland, even. Which would normally be Gordon's role. There we go. We'll stop here. Hop out. Have a look along this platform. Oh, there's the name board. One thing I am going to do with this, because it is possible, is mod some real world trains in, so that basically we can have, I'm just going to cheat, we can have things like Flying Scotsman or a diesel here for, that's cool. Is that a post? No, that's just normal post. Normal poster. Northwestern Railway number 1, Thomas. Farquhar branch line. First time I've seen one of those. It's a lovely view out there. We've got a church. Some offices. Some industrial type buildings. Quite cool. There's Emily just sitting there, waiting. Beware of trains. Yes, we're in a railway station. Let's go down into the... Okay, that's pretty impressive. That's the platform we were just on, so we'll go up this one. Now this is cool. And look this way. I will find collectibles. I just want to get a few while I'm here. That's quite a drop. There's a collectible. Which poster is it? There's a hot air balloon in the air, and I can't see any engines. But that's number 7 of 20. I've got another 13 of them to find. There's another one. Emily at what looks like Tidmouth. That was quick. 2 posters. paintings, whatever. They're actually in-game screenshots. That branch will probably be done, this one, on a future DLC. Be naughty again, there's no trains. I'm looking on each of these, because sometimes the whistles and hats, like that, there's a whistle. I've only found 5 of them. I've got 15 more to find. But whistles and hats are sometimes on luggage. Sometimes the hats are on something else. Like at Bridge, it was on the... Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, the hat was on water column. So it was somewhere different. There's the Thomas's branch line again. Still no hats. Surprised at that. Can hear Emily all the way over there from here. We're further away here than we were at the end of her train, and we can hear her. Let's have a look in photo mode at this. We're further down, that's why it's done that. It's an impressive structure. Can I go up? Yes. We'll go... I don't want to go off the... There's the... It's a very, very imposing station. I found another poster, look. This one is... Maithwaite. So it's on Thomas's branch line. We'll get that one. Can't see any more. And get a picture of Emily in a train in the station. She's looking straight at the camera. Oh, she follows the camera, does she? Why is it not taking screenshots? Thank you. Need to go back out here to do another one, because it didn't work. There we go. But we'll come and get that, and then we'll get back on Emily. So I'll be cheeky and just run across the track. Okay, Maithwaite. Oop, why do you do that? Shouldn't really have fallen there. Stand in driver's position. Next stop. Is there a station down here? Yes. We'll stop at Ballyhoo. It's on the way to Craven Gate. Oh, she's got more than one whistle sound. That's the first time I've heard her do that whistle. we go. That's an imposing church. I mean... Or is it? As far as I can go. It's not quite... It looks like it from that angle. With this front bit. But it's actually separate. You've got mills over there. Another one there. Signal box and signals on the line that goes to the north. And then that's the way we're going. For a line that is in reality fictional, they've done really well. The fact that the Reverend Audrey did a 3D map so that all the stories followed the same they all basically the geography of each story was realistic. Created the map so that you didn't make mistakes. Okay, a little bit of stuttering there. I'm not going to be speeding. Emily will do a reasonable speed. She's actually doing better whistles now. 2.1 miles before Ballyhoo. We're only doing Vickarstown to Cowan Gate. Stopping at Ballyhoo, have a little explore, and then exploring around Cowan Gate, looking at the narrow gauge. Failed to do the whistle on that last whistle sign. How well. I've not actually been on this bit of the line yet, so I'm looking at it while doing the video. Here's the tunnels. We'll be going in right-hand tunnel, or are we going in Henry's tunnel? Right-hand tunnel. Left-hand tunnel is Henry's tunnel, which is where Henry was bricked up. Weird place for signals, immediately after the tunnel. Switch sides, mainly because when we come out, I'll go back talking forwards, because all of the cab. It's a really bad video when you can't see. We're doing 45 miles an hour through the tunnel. It's a long tunnel. Out. So there's the bit where Henry was bricked up. Whoa! We stayed on. That was lucky. surprised we didn't completely come off. We stayed on. That was hair-raising. Bet the passengers enjoyed that. Not. Slow down a little bit because this is a slower line. I don't know which engine runs this though. I need to have a look. Didn't realise we'd got over 50 miles an hour going through Henry's Tunnel. Okay, so when we're in head out view, the camera is further away. It's actually level with cab battery. Okay, nice to know. That's the first time Emily's done 2 toots. Slowing down for Ballyhoo. Into Ballyhoo. The fact that these stations feel as though they are meant to be real. Brake before we get to the signal. The stations feel authentic, which is amazing. As I said, it's a fictional world, and there's a painting, and it is, that looks like Tidmouth Sheds. So I've got half of the paintings done. Okay. We can have a little wander round while Emily rests and recovers from nearly toppling over. The level crossing has closed. We'll have a look down at this signal box. See if there's any Railway Series books. No. Just looking at the signal post, just in case. Nothing there. The gates are quite good on this. Crossing gates. We'll go over to this platform. Somewhere there's another 18 books. I've only found 2. Well, there's a whistle. I think I only found 2 or 3 of the guards' hats as well. So I'm missing things. I'll find them eventually, but onto Emily's cab. Set path. What's that way? It might be Toby's line, something like that. I don't know. We're going down here. Joining back up, there's a, that is timber mill siding, and We're going to Craven Gate. Not the middle line. Signal's gone green. Both the home and distance have gone green. Sorry, gotta get a photo of this. First of all, Emily. But also, the amazingly realistic looking signals from the cab view. So, Ballyhoo is quite a large village. Mainline is all the way over there. And probably make it out on that dark line. We've got to go and join back up to it. I like the fact that they just reuse main game assets, but they do look in keeping. Ballyhoo, not Ballyhoo. They look as though they are genuinely from Sodor, but then Sodor's in Britain, supposedly. Meant to be between Furnace Coast and the Isle of Man. So it would have British architecture, like those buildings. So we'll get to Croven's Gate, have a look around. There's that branch. Don't know whose branch it is. Okay, we're now onto the single track section. Before we get to Mainline again, there's more cows and tractor. My laptop's struggling a little bit. Okay, we're going at 50. Don't want to go any faster because we'll come off, especially on an embankment like this. Ooh, interesting viaduct. So we get most of the way across. Come on. Okay, that would not be a mainline viaduct. I think maybe that would be part of Edward's route. I would like Edward in the game. Or is that where Toby's been? Not sure. But it's all wooden. So that's quite a structure. That is scary. I'm trying to think which stories a wooden viaduct appear in, or appears in. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we're coming up to the junction with the main line. I'm just letting gravity slow Emily down. Go this side because main line is the other side of that farm. Can't see any whistle signs at the moment. Someone along the side, but caution signal. There's the main line. Ooh, we've got 2 peeps in the whistle this time. We cross over to here. It's not as bad this time. Let's whistle. We've done all 3 sounds for Emily's whistle since we've left Ballyhoo. There's the timber sidings. The crane. Start slowing for Ballyhoo. For Craven's Gate. Chimney. There's the sheds for this area. Peep peep. And we're now at Craven's Gate. Get to the end of the station. And then we'll stop. There we go, we've arrived at Craven's Gate. And now, the fun bit. Because I'm not going any further with Emily. Make it nice and quiet. Interesting footbridge. There's a poster. And that is Gordon at Vickarstown. What's around here? Anything that I can collect around here? That's the way to get to platform 2 and 3. If I was doing this, I'd have put things in the ticket office windows. But they haven't. Fire buckets. Phone box. Narrow bit up to the platform, but there's a bench blocking the way. Okay. Silly place to put a bench. Now, out onto the platform again. We'll look at various places where passengers must not cross the line except by means of the footbridge. What about staff? Can staff do that? Anything there? No. I will eventually find all the collectibles. I enjoy getting collectibles. There's the shed. There's a chimney behind it. It's interesting. We've got a mixture of vehicles in the car park. So to get across to the narrow gauge platforms, you have to cross over 2 separate footbridges. We'll do the correct method of going over the footbridge. This is quite a cool. It's got glazing. Now that makes a good view. But you can see the narrow gauge now. Those tracks are smaller than those tracks. It gives the impression that the narrow gauge locos will be included in a future DLC. And that is one DLC I most certainly will get. I mean, I love narrow gauge railways. So, getting the narrow gauge engines like Skarloey, Rhenus. There's a hat. I've collected 3 now. Skarloey, Rhenus, Duncan, Rusty, all of the engines on the narrow gauge. I would love it. And that's the Fat Controller's car. So he's come to visit the Skarloey Railway, which goes down there to... Let's go down to their engine shed. I don't know how much of the... You can see how narrow the tracks are. I don't know how much of the narrow gauge will be included when they do the... There's a book. Which one is it? Should be one of the... I wanted to read what it said. And it is one of the engine sheds, which we can't actually walk into. There is another location. Sorry. Another location for the narrow gauge loco sheds. Further up the line. It'll be... Where's the point levers? No point levers. It'll be quite interesting when I'm going to have to get a decent view of the Fat Controller's car at some point. But is there any more? Can't go through there. No. There's another one that looks like Fat Controller's car. Okay. How far up the Skarloey Railway can we actually go before it just suddenly stops? As I said, when the narrow gauge engines come in, this line will be... should be fully drivable. It will be amazing. Skarloey, Rhenus, Sir Handel, Duncan, Rusty, Duke and Bertram, trying to think of original narrow gauge engines. Still going. And we'll come to... There's another book. Which one's this? The 3 railway engines. That's the very first one. The very first railway series book. It's a good job I walked up here. Theoretically, I could spawn in a full-size engine, but it... There we go, we can't go any further. But I could spawn in a... all that track And I can't walk any further than there. But at some point, it'll be included. Which one's this? Kelsthorpe Road. Branch line down to currently nowhere. All these branches will probably be extended as well. Whispering Woods. That one just ends. What's the next station? That is Kildane. Don't know what Dane's done, but yeah. That is Cronk. That's a sharp bend into that line. Maron. And Wellsworth, which is where Edward's branch line starts. Surprised the track's a bit bad there. Then we've got Henry's Forest. So it's got characters named Crosby. It's got character names like Henry's Tunnel, Henry's Forest. And there's the Knapford Harbour. And there's Knapford. So it's a decent length run. And then we've got the... I think that's Brendan Docks route. I'm not 100% sure. But it's a decent length if you go from Tidmouth to Vickarstown. Then you've got Thomas's branch line. All the way up. And then to the quarry, which is pretty big itself. There's the Knapford Docks, Knapford Harbour, both sides, with access down there. Where was it? I wanted the bit with the weird... There it is. I want to have a look at that. I want to see what's up with the track. And why it's showing as broken on the map. It's over there, isn't it? I'm not looking for collectibles at the moment. I just want to have a look at this bit of track. So we'll go off the end of the platform. It's a turntable, that's why. I believe Wellsworth is the end of Edward's branch line. That's coal hopper for loading coal wagons. And we've got the... There's a hat there, look. I wasn't looking for collectibles, but I found one. If I move back a bit, because it's... No. It should say North Western Railway Conductor. We've got the manual points. Which is cool. It's a weird structure. Can I go and have a look at it? Can't get very close to it, but I can have a look at it. And we've got a wall. Some loud cars, or lorries, or whatever. And we've got Wordsworth signal box. Wordsworth viaduct signal box, so it's one of the viaduct that at the end of the first TV series story, Thomas chuffs slowly over. Can I go on the other side and have a look? I can't get over there, but you can just about make it out. It's quite a tall viaduct. There we go. That's an impressive structure. There we go, it's got a screenshot. And we've got some impressive signals. A couple of shunt signals are the smaller ones. And the main line, all 3 lines, and then one for that line. This is for the middle line, because you've got Junction. That's for going into the right-hand platform. That's for going into the left-hand platform, and shunt, and then straight through the middle. We go back to Wordsworth Station proper. Water tower with crane built in. Pity we can't actually go up the signal posts. Make some interesting views if we ever manage to create our own timetables and scenarios. Can't go down there. There's another ticket window with nothing in it. As I said, if I was doing the... Sorry, I had to do that. If I was doing the collectibles, I'd put them in places like those windows. There's got to be a painting here somewhere. Might as well find the last one before we finish the video. No painting. That's surprising. Well, that'll do for today's video. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching it. Friday is my model kit building video, where I do the grimy old mill. I uploaded that over a month ago, so it's got my old opening and closing credits, so don't complain about that. I will return to Sodor on Monday. Easter Monday, strangely enough, which I may have put some real-world trains in for our exploration of the line after doing part 2 of Percy's Troublesome Day, and then the 6th story, whatever that is. So, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic Easter if you don't watch the model building video. And, well, come back on Monday for the 3rd Wonders of Sodor video. be seeing you.
Sodor Productions. Filming trains and events that happen in town.
Wearing his red trilby, Dale can be seen with cameras 3 all set up.
Steam trains and diesels, electrics and freights.
Dickens and fireworks, tractors at Christmas.
Warbler Productions.